Recently, a new memorial was unveiled in Washington, D.C. to honor disabled veterans and their families. It's the first such national tribute, and it includes quotations by veterans who suffered battlefield injuries. Among those inscriptions is one by Santa Clara Pueblo artist Michael Naranjo. While serving in Vietnam, he lost his sight from a grenade blast, which also shattered one of his hands. Nevertheless, he has forged a successful career as a sculptor. NMIF producer Megan Kamerick spoke with Naranjo about his inscription and the meaning of the memorial for soldiers like him who came back permanently disabled by their service.
Michael Naranjo, thank you very much for talking with us on New Mexico in Focus.
My pleasure.
Your sculptures are very well known. They're highly prized among collectors. So how does it feel now to have your words on a permanent artwork commemorating the sacrifices of veterans?
Honored. I was surprised when I was called and asked if they could put them on the walls at the memorial, Disabled American Veterans Memorial in Washington at the mall. It's something I never expected, and it will be there long after. And I guess that's something that artists, in one way, are looking for, is that their work is honored, and how much honor can there be, how much more honor can there be.
What was it like meeting other fellow veterans when you went to the ceremony in Washington, D.C., who were also disabled like you were?
Veterans are always very interesting to come across because they understand what problems we all have and situations that we come across, and how do we take care of these problems, and there's just a common ground that we walk, which makes understanding each other much easier. And there are so many different kinds of disabilities that I often think, I would imagine a lot of other veterans think, I think theirs is worse than mine, but it's just what you're used to. And because it's yours, you learn to live with it.
So did it make you feel like, well, maybe I don't have it so bad?
Right.
The Vietnam Memorial, which is on the National Mall, it is so famous. It's such an important work. And there are so many other memorials in Washington as well, honoring national service and people who died serving this country. This new memorial is specifically designed to honor people who are disabled veterans from all the wars. So why is it important to have this particular memorial now?
There are memorials for all different wars, and this is for all veterans, all wars, and it just seems like it shouldn't happen again and again, but it does. And we're here, and we're going to be here, and it's something that people perhaps can be aware of, that there is a problem, there is a need, that there are all these veterans out there who are still struggling to find their place in society.
What do you hope that people will understand about veterans and disability if they go to this memorial? Just
the understanding of we need each other. We can't do it alone. How much of these people given for their disability, for us to be here and to live the way that we do. And these veterans, with their, not only do they have physical scars, and not always can you tell that that they're hurting, because the inside, the mind, the body within internally also suffers a great deal from the tragedy that they've gone through.
The quotation on the memorial from you reads, if you don't mind if I read it, repeat it for you. When you're young, you're invincible, you're immortal. I thought I'd come back. Perhaps I wouldn't. There was that thought too. But I had this feeling I would come back. Underneath that feeling, there was another, that maybe I wouldn't be quite the same, but I felt I'd make it back. So how is your art helped you adapt to the fact that you weren't the same when you came back from Vietnam?
It was frightening. After I finally was aware of my disability, not being able to see and having only use of one hand, what I always wanted to do was be a sculptor as a small boy. And so to suddenly realize that perhaps my dream was no more was frightening. It was scary. And I remember laying in the hospital bed thinking about it. And when a volunteer came along and asked, I asked for clay and discovered I could still do it. And I think something about art, art is an amazing means of communicating, not only that, but an aid to healing. And it lends itself to my disability. But art it gave me a purpose. I could focus on something now, which helped displace the hurt, the pain, the disability. And it helped carry me through the difficult times.
Even though the Vietnam War ended decades ago, the volume of disability claims from veterans like you and other people who served, it continues to climb, and there's a huge backlog for services for veterans. So how do you think we can raise awareness with every one of the challenges veterans face coming back, even long after the conflicts have ended?
By various groups and organizations that are dealing with veterans still out there. There's an organization now called Vets Heading Home. There, in any city, town, community, there's so many different organizations dealing with veterans, and just supporting them. It's so often, if we have relatives, people, friends we know, then we are aware. But we need to go out there and make other people aware that there are so many people out there still in need of help. And it's difficult at times with a large organization, the bureaucracy of government, and having to deal with so many veterans, and not only the veterans from past wars, but there are still today new veterans coming home every day. We just need to be aware of it's not ending.
Mm-hmm. Even after the conflict ends.
After the conflict.
Well, Michael Naranjo, thank you so much for talking with us, and thank you for your service and the wonderful art that you give the world.
Well, thank you.